aren't these two young ladies absolutely stunning? I just can't believe how beautiful they are. Ysabel and Gwen have posted to social media a short video making fun of the first time they've ever watched the Sisterwives trailer. They are literally so over that show. So here we go, friends.
My name is Kody Brown, and you've got to meet my family. I'm a polygamist, but we're not the polygamists you think you know. I have 3 awesome wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine. And I have 12 wonderful children.
Because love should be multiplied, not divided.
Okay, so some good things I'm hearing from all of this that's come out with Gwen speaking out and some of the other kids talking about what's going on behind the scenes is that it sounds like the kids were not brought up like watching the Sisterwives show or worrying too much about what was going on with the show, which is great to hear. I think that's a good thing and speaks well for the parenting. Janelle and Christine and Kody, they weren't like having their kids watch the episodes for fun or talking about it all day in front of them. It seems like they were somewhat sheltered from what was going on with the show. And I'm glad to hear that. It's something we haven't always heard from kids who grew up doing a reality show with their parents. I know that we've heard from several of Christine's kids that they don't really watch the show. And even Gwen's best friend was like, I've never watched Sisterwives. I didn't know it was that big of a thing or that there were so many fans. So that's been interesting to hear and a good thing in my mind. Okay. Now, I want to share with you something else that's a little bit different than what the title of this video implies. I want to share with you something that I find a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it anyway on this video because I think it has some validity. And it's important to just talk about it and be aware when things aren't really adding up and they don't make sense to most of us, so that we can be honest and truthful about what we're seeing instead of kind of sweeping things under the rug. Okay, so there was an article that specifically was shared around a Sisterwives fan group, and it addresses Kody's relationship with Robyn's older girls, Aurora and Brianna. Because most recently on Sisterwives, season 17, the most recent episode, we finally got to see a little bit of Robyn Brown's house, and there's some kind of costume party that they're doing for Halloween, and it looks like Kody and Robyn are dressed in some pretty, seemingly what we would consider normal costumes, but it's kind of odd to see fundamentalists wearing them. But many fans have pointed out that Kody seemed really loving and affectionate towards Robyn's older daughters. So these girls are not Kody's biological daughters. They're from Robyn's prior marriage, but he has helped raise them for the past 10 years. But there's no denying that fans are questioning the relationship between Kody and these girls, especially considering these factors. Number 1, Kody is strongly encouraging his children with Janelle and Christine to move out of the house, and they are similar ages to Aurora and Brianna. Kody has been a super big jackass to all of his sons about getting out of the house, especially in Janelle's home. So it's kind of surprising to see that these young girls are still living at home with Robyn, and seemingly there's no issue with it at all. Do you remember that in Gwen's live on TikTok, she said that Aurora and Brianna actually work for Robyn on her, quote unquote business, My Sisterwives Closet, that they would package things up and send things out for her, and that was their responsibility to the family. So seemingly, they're still living at home. And we don't have any indication of what's coming up next for them, if they're in school or if they're waiting to get married. I have no information that states what's going on in that realm. But we do see a lot of confrontations between Kody and his other children on this show. And yet we see him kind of pretending or being like a much more loving, interactive, kind, and touchy-feely person with these older girls.
Basement door to the outside, so anytime I left I would go straight through there. quarantining from my family and not being able to see them was very isolating and lonely.
Somewhere along the line, there's this one night when Aurora comes upstairs and she's like looking at us. She's in a mask 10 feet away from us. I miss you guys. And we're just sobbing. Like, yeah, Aurora, I miss you too. It's been like 10 days.
So it's been 10 days that Aurora went in the basement and stayed down there. And he is sobbing like someone who just lost a child. Meanwhile, he hasn't seen his other kids in months and he doesn't give an F. I don't get how he doesn't see the error of his ways. How does Robyn not look at the screen and see that he's in the wrong?
Number 2. The closeness, the cuddling, the kisses he displays with Robyn's older girls, it's rarely ever seen with his biological daughters from Christine and Janelle. And people are asking why, like what's going on with this? Why are Robyn's daughters being treated so differently? And number 3, and this is what really bugs me. In the few interactions we've seen on film about Robyn's older kids going to visit their bio dad, they seem desperately excited to see him and spend time with him. Now, I'm sure that there are issues with this guy. I believe that Robyn has even accused him of DV in the past. But I do think that we've witnessed a concerted effort by Robyn to erase her children's biological father and weirdly, like super weirdly, fully replace him in a contrived way with her own personal hero, Kody Brown. I just really find all of this kind of scary, like the stuff that could really mess with these girls' psyches. I do wonder what's going on with the older girls. There's nothing that I want to criticize them about, although recently it was pointed out on one of the fan pages that Aurora and Brianna seem to have kind of an interesting relationship to Meri Brown. We know that Robyn really pushes for Meri Brown to come over and be a part of her kids' lives, and Meri seemingly also pushes that. Meri seems to very much want to be involved in the lives of Solomon and Ariella May specifically. I don't know if you remember, but there was an episode when they lived in Las Vegas where Meri actually wanted to take Solomon with her on some kind of an overnight trip. Solomon is Kody and Rob's son. And Meri was pretty close with him. And Robyn was just like, nope, that's not happening. Despite all of the lip service she paid to like Meri being a second mother and being like such an important part of their lives, she didn't want Solomon going out with her. Overall, we really see Robyn's kids getting treated kind of like royalty among the other children. It seems unfair and it's hard to really understand. So most recently in the Thanksgiving episode, fans were pointing out that poor Meri comes over to Kody and Robyn's house. No one else is there with them because Janelle and Christine, they're having a great time with their own kids for Thanksgiving. But Meri's over at Robyn and Kody's house hanging out, and they let her in the door. It's a miracle because they seem very concerned still about the virus being spread by someone coming into their home. But Meri gets through the door, and she brings with her a turkey, but not just any kind of turkey. It's a turkey made out of Rice Krispie treats because I guess that's Meri's contribution to the feast. And I think she made it, specifically for the younger kids, specifically Solomon and Ariella May to have something fun at the table, a special sweet for them. And Aurora are kind of in the background looking at Meri like, what a loser. Just making some facial expressions. And, we can't claim to know. This is speculation. We can't claim to know what's going on in their minds. And they're of an age where I'm sure anybody Meri's age can kind of come off as a loser in certain moments. But the idea is that Robyn seems to keep her kids kind of locked in a tower up on the hill. It's almost like they don't associate with the other kids because the other kids aren't good enough for them. This is what a lot of people are saying in the Facebook groups. Other people have said, well, maybe they feel ostracized because all the other children in the family were good friends before they ever joined the family, and I can understand that too. But now it's Robyn and her children who live in a very nice, comfortable home with Kody. They get all of his time and attention. They also have their mom staying home full time while the other moms have frequently been working to support everyone. They're certainly very lucky. I'm also questioning what it is that Robyn and Kody are saying to Brianna and Aurora behind closed doors. And I think when we look at this one clip from when Janelle and Christine weren't able to bring their kids to Thanksgiving because of COVID, they couldn't follow the rules. And it kind of seems like Brianna comes off pretty bratty. She's like mad that they wouldn't follow Kody's rules, and she's like, they can't follow them or they don't want to follow them. To me, that comes right out of Robyn's mouth or Kody's mouth. And unfortunately, when you have this kind of weird relationship with your stepdad and your mom where like it's you against the rest of the family, I think that that's a pretty toxic relationship between parent and child.
They're not able to, or they're choosing not to. I don't know exactly, like.
And I'm just going down a rabbit hole questioning what's going on with Kody and these kids. Why is he so utterly devoted to them? Both his own biological kids with Robyn and his stepchildren. We continue to see such an odd relationship between all of them. And one thing I will never understand is why Robyn isn't pushing Kody to have a better relationship with his other children. Because I think in any situation I was in, I would want my husband or my significant other to really still be very devoted to any children he had before he met me. That's what would make him a good person in my eyes. It almost seems like Robyn is totally fine with all the other kids, the older children in their 20s and teenagers. You know, they're going into confessionals on Sisterwives, basically crying their hearts out about their father not being involved in their lives. And here Robyn is acting like, oh well, too bad. I don't think I could stomach that. So what do you guys think about all of this? As I said, I've kind of been watching in the background on some of these Sisterwives fan groups, and I'm not sure what to think about what Kody and Robyn are doing with this little family. I still tell myself that a lot of the Sisterwives show is based on plots created by the producers, so we're not getting a full view of everything that's going on in the family structure. But there's still no denying that Kody lives 90% of his time with Robyn and her children. And we're continuing to see a lot of fallout from the older kids as they express that they've felt very abandoned and alone in terms of having a pretty absent father. So let me know what you think below. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I hope to see you again down my next rabbit hole.